Hello there YouTube, it's Cragsy once again, and I'm making a new video. This video is just about atheism and the meaning of life. And the reason why I'm making this video is because I've been approached with this claim many times that because I'm an atheist, my life has no meaning. So, this is a rebuttal against that claim. I'm no philosopher, but I have read a few good books on the subject, and I've seen a few good videos, so I've got an idea of the claims being made for and against this argument. This particular video would probably not be as good as some of the videos that I've seen before, but still, I'd like to make a contribution, so here it is. I hope you enjoy it. Thank you very much. The argument I'm referring to goes something along the lines of: you're an atheist, you have nothing to believe in, so you have nothing to live for. Your life is meaningless, your only reason to live is evolution, but I have everything to live for. And why? Because I believe in God and He has a purpose for me. I'm fairly certain that this is a pretty accurate quote or representation of the argument I'm referring to, although it's a very odd argument to bring up, especially when we're discussing evolution. Yeah, it's also incredibly offensive, and not just offensive to me, but also offensive to others who don't share your belief in God. To add insult to injury, you then compare yourself to myself and imply that you are better than I. And why? Because you believe in God and you believe He has a purpose in mind just for you. Unfortunately, despite how offensive this remark is, you score 0 points on originality. In fact, if I type atheism into the search bar on www.ancestsandgenesis.com, I find this little gem of a quotable quote. Let me summarise my views on what modern evolutionary biology tells us loud and clear. There are no gods, no purposes, no goal-directed forces of any kind. There's no life after death. When I die, I'm absolutely certain that I'm going to be dead. That's the end for me. There's no ultimate foundation for ethics, no ultimate meaning to life, no free will for humans either. That's Dr. William B. Provine. Now we'll ignore for the fact that he thinks evolutionary biology takes a stance on the existence of God, life after death, the meaning of life, ethics and free will. We'll also ignore the fact that he implies that evolutionary biology and atheism are the same. And finally, we'll ignore the fact that he has a PhD in biology for his own sake. The point that they're making is that I don't believe in God and an afterlife. I believe that life came about through evolution by means of natural selection, and I don't believe I was made by a creator with a purpose in mind. Therefore, my life must be meaningless, I have nothing to live for, and I am without purpose. If when you say my life is meaningless you mean that there's no reason for my being here, then I agree. I've not been created with a purpose in mind, but what eludes me is how this is meant to be an argument against my atheism. Did God not create man to serve and obey Him for some higher purpose? Does being free from servitude and judgment make me worse off? I'd be quite interested to hear your views on why you think God made us and what purpose He has in mind for us. Well, the meaning of something depends entirely on the value you place on it. Thus, the meaning of your life depends entirely on what you value and how you value your life. If, when you say that my life is meaningless, and you mean that my life has no value and therefore I have nothing to live for because I don't believe in your God, then you're terribly mistaken. That's a really, really wicked thing for you to suggest. I don't want to insult your intelligence, so I will give you the benefit of the doubt, and I'll presume that you're cycling or regurgitating someone else's ridiculous argument. The basic structure of this argument is: I don't understand how your life can have meaning without God, therefore your life cannot have meaning without God. This is an example of the argument from ignorance, or more specifically the argument from personal incredulity fallacy, and just because this argument has been based on a logical fallacy, the argument is invalid. Just because I think that all the functions of my brain and everything my brain is capable of are a result of a complex system of hormones, electrical impulses, ion concentrations, action potentials and neurotransmitters, etc., which have been refined through chemical evolution and evolution by natural selection over a few billion years, does not mean that my life has no value. I value the fact that I can actually think, feel emotions and sense the world around me, instead of the means by which these abilities came about.